Hey guys, I'm Heintje, and even though this video probably won't get many views, I have to show you this amazing bike park. So first of all, thank you very much for clicking that thumbnail. Bikepark Metabief can be found just north of the Lake of Geneva. It can be easily combined with a trip to Port Soleil. That's what we did. We went here on our way back home. Something I could recommend everyone. This park has so much to offer. From absolute beginner trails to some of the gnarliest tech trails I've ever ridden. From easy flow trails to features that I would classify as truly insane. Enjoy! Normally I'll skip the green runs, but let's be complete and start the day with the green trail. This one is, as you might expect, very easy with no crazy features. It's also very long, and yes, I rode almost the whole 5 kilometers of it. Don't worry, I'm not gonna show it though. That would get repetitive very fast. Down at the bottom there's a short black trail, and by now I really wanted a bit more of a challenge, so I went for that option. Let's go straight from green to black in the first run. This was more my style, not too gnarly, just fun. Even though it were only 2 very short sections, this gave me a lot of confidence for the other black trails to come. Not sure that was a good thing, but more on that later. For now, let's finish the trail and get back to the top for our next run. Since it was still early on the day, we went for a blue trail this time. One option was a blue flow trail. With the green trail we just had quite a doses of flow, so we went for the more enduro-like blue trail. I'm not gonna lie, this one was a bit of a bummer. The downhill parts were not that special, mostly white paths with some rocks. But the worst part, being enduro meant there were also uphill sections. Trust me, they were no fun on a single speed downhill bike. So at the first option to cross over to another trail, we went for that option. Sure, this is a black one. But hey, I still have the confidence from that tiny section last run. Turned out, this one was a lot darker black. It started with some drops that landed in the rock gardens, combined with really rough and steep sections. It even looks hard on video, and if you know anything about GoPro footage, if it looks gnarly on film, it truly is gnarly. That doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. Hell, I loved it. This is the kind of riding Port Soleil really lacks. One thing I have to give this park, it has by far the best signage I've ever seen in any bike park. Not only do the signs say what kind of feature is coming, a drop, a jump, etc. They also give you a good indication of the size of the feature. From a blue S for small, all the way to black XLs. This is something other bike parks can learn from. Sure, you ride the first trail still a bit careful, but you don't have to fully memorize the whole trail and still know what features you can send and which you should ride around. Now back to the top. I went to check out the start of this trail. It starts with a barely rollable drop, followed up by a closed road gap. I did check it out however. Too bad it was closed. I think this one would be pretty easy. However, it was a bit windy this day and probably a very small chance to encounter traffic on the road. After the road gap, the trail just goes straight down the ski slope until you get to the next closer road gap. This one is a lot smaller and again looks doable. At least that is till you see the landing. This is already enough of a challenge to ride, let alone land a road gap in it. A bit further down there's one more feature, this one even being more insane. Again a road gap. My first reaction was, no way.
No way.
Later I did check it out though. Turns out it isn't even a slow speed drop. You need quite a bit of speed to clear the distance. And once you land, you have approximately 3 meters before you have to rail the berm. Like I said, no fucking way. The rest of the trail is rough technical stuff, most of it very rideable. One tiny route that put me off and I had to give it a second attempt.
Fuck.
Oh, and one corner I kept messing up, so this one required a bit of a session. Taking your time to check out the line, of course, steering a bit wider made the exit so much better.
Echt weer dit stuk, hè?
We all know this. However, with this many rocks on the trail, it will sometimes get tricky to bring that theory to practice.
ja.
Now for the bottom section. This part you can scout every time you go up the mountain, although from the lift it looks easier. First feature, or better said 2 features. No, even 3 features. Drops. On the left you have one very big drop, or step down. I think I can do it, but I didn't test it out. I went for the right option, a double drop. That is so much fun. Next feature is a small drop that is as boring as it looks. Sure, you can send it deep, but why would you if you're not in a timed run? You finally end the trail with a couple of doubles. The first one I chickened around, the next one I nailed. You might have noticed that I haven't ridden any red trails yet. Time to change that. Time to hit a medium tech trail. This one is definitely not as steep as the black ones, but just as rough. And in a way I should say it is even harder. Since it's not that steep, you dare to let go of the brakes a bit more, giving you less time to react to the terrain, making the trail harder. Of course, if you control your speed, this one is much easier. But don't get me wrong, it's still a very nice trail for a red graded one. At least it merges and splits with the green trail all the time, giving you short sections to catch your breath. While I show you some more of this trail, let me kindly ask you to support my work. Of course, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, it means a lot to me. I know videos about lesser known places don't perform that well. However, I really like riding these kind of parks, not knowing what to expect. So please leave a like to let me know I'm not alone in this.
Deze kant op.
Now before I get into the flow lines, there's one more tech trail I must address. Again, a black one. It starts with an easy drop, at least easy once you've checked it out. Even with the amazing signage here, I didn't dare to ride this one blind. I probably would have overshot it by a lot if I did. Then after some more rock and root sections, you'll cross a field followed up by a tiny gap jump. At this point you can have enough speed to clear it 5-fold. And now for the thumbnail feature. Not even sure how to call this thing. A corkscrew? Anyway, it looks fun. So of course I did check it out first. I don't think I've ridden something like this before. Then it was time to go for it. Turned out it was no fun. It was more scary. Let me explain. The first part of the wooden berm is quite steep. Here you want speed to not fall off on the inside. Even walking this part was already quite hard. Then the berm flattens out and here you don't want speed, otherwise you risk going over the high side. And then there's the flat section to the drop. Here you want some speed again, meaning you have to pedal for all that you have in order to clear the drop. I did do and even clear it, so no need to do it again, at least not until the next run. This time I went in with a bit more speed, going a bit too fast into the flatter part for my skills. Thankfully I could come to a halt on the platform. Let's find a way to get off this thing and continue the rest of the trail. From here it's more technical fun, steep, rough, everything I like about the enduro trails I usually ride, only now accessible with the lift and therefore also with the downhill bike. Once you get to the end of the trail, there's a short blue flow trail to follow it up. It feels weird to go from black tech to blue flow in one run. This doesn't mean the blue line isn't fun, not at all, it's quite a lot of fun. There's some nice flowing jumps, and it being in a distant corner of the park, you won't encounter many beginners here. Speaking of which, both beginners and flow trails. The main line of this park is a red flow or jump line. All the jumps on this line are tables or rollable doubles. There's a couple of technical sections, but those are not that hard so anyone can ride this trail, but leads to some annoying situations. In order to clear the jumps, you need quite some speed and commitment. I'll encourage everyone to slowly up their game, by riding harder trails at their own speed. I know faster riders should adjust their riding to slower riders in front of them. However, when that comes at the cost of not being able to clear the jumps anymore, I find this hard. I mean, it's a red trail after all. You can logically expect faster riders who want to clear the jumps. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments. I feel a trail has a certain trail speed, the speed at which everything works. You can clear the features, don't have to pedal too much, etc. When you go slower, you should be aware of riders riding trail speed, keeping an eye out for riders behind you and finding a spot to let them pass. Same goes for when you go faster than trail speed, race pace. You'll have to expect that sometimes you have to slow down so someone can let you pass. Again, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, with this rant I didn't do this trail justice, so we will be making a separate bonus video just about this trail, coming sometime next week.
Wind. Ja, wauw, die is...
As you can see, I could clear all of the jumps on this line. Nice, but not true for my statement that this might be the gnarliest park. But wait, there's one more trail. This jump line I have no right of riding. I did give it a roll down however. Man, this is so much out of my league. But also, this line looks so damn cool. Honestly, I'm not even sure whether this line is for big bikes or dirt jumpers. It looks a lot like a slopestyle course. Anyway, this trail is enough to up the gnarliness factor of the park. And with that I've come to the end of the video. As always, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you back for my next video. You know, in the meantime, have fun riding. Houdoe!